All right, today we're tackling a massive 4,500-year-old engineering puzzle. We're going to uncover a secret that's been hiding in plain sight right inside the stone of the Great Sphinx. You know, for thousands of years, the Great Sphinx has been this incredible icon of ancient ingenuity, just sitting there guarding the Giza plateau. But the biggest mystery isn't who it's supposed to be, it's how in the world they actually built it. I mean, just think about it for a second. It's a logistical nightmare. How did they carve this massive 240-foot-long statue right out of the bedrock, while at the same time building a huge temple right next to it using the very stone they were digging out? It just sounds impossible. So, to get to the bottom of this, we've got to look beyond the Sphinx as just a monument. The real answer? Well, it's literally written in the stone. You know, for decades, archaeologists have been scratching their heads over this. Did they carve the statue first, then build the temple with the leftover rocks? Or maybe the other way around? It was a huge puzzle. But the answer, it turns out, was hiding in plain sight the whole time, and it's so much more elegant than anyone thought. Okay, so let's get our bearings here. What we're looking at is the Sphinx, and it's sitting in this massive U-shaped ditch. That ditch, that's the quarry. It's where all the stone for that big temple right in front of it came from. The key thing to realize here is that these aren't two different places. It was all one big, interconnected construction site. And that right there leads us to the big idea from archaeologist Mark Lenner and geologist Thomas Agner. They called it the quarry construction sequence. Basically, they proposed that the Sphinx and its temple weren't two separate jobs at all. No, it was one single, integrated, and, well, brilliantly choreographed process. Okay, so that's a pretty bold theory, right? How on earth do you prove something like that? Well, you have to become a kind of geological detective. You've got to learn how to read the story that the stones themselves are telling. And to get what the big clue is, we actually have to go way, way back. I'm talking tens of millions of years. See, the whole Giza Plateau was once a shallow sea. And as that sea receded, it left behind layers and layers of sediment. That's what created this unique limestone bedrock, with some layers being super soft and others much harder and denser. Now, this is the crucial part. Those ancient layers from the seafloor, you can still see them today. They're like these horizontal bands or stripes running through the Sphinx and the quarry walls around it, and each set of layers has its own unique mix of thickness, color, and even fossils. It's like a geological fingerprint, totally unique to that spot. And this is what led to the big aha moment for archaeologist Mark Lenner. He was walking around the Sphinx temple, and he noticed something incredible. The patterns, those geological layers, seemed to just flow continuously from one massive block to the next. It was almost like they'd been lifted straight out of the ground and placed right into the wall, in perfect order, without getting all jumbled up. So, that one observation kicked off this massive investigation. The goal? To see if they could actually match the fingerprints on every single block in that temple wall back to an exact spot in the Sphinx quarry. All right, let's look at the evidence, starting with clue number 1, the temple walls. If you look really closely at these huge blocks, you'll notice a very distinct, kind of soft, yellow band running right through them. This one specific layer, it became a super important marker for the research team. Okay, and now for clue number 2. The body of the Sphinx itself. Take a look. You can see the exact same sequence of hard and soft layers, that same fingerprint running right through its body. And this makes perfect sense, right? The harder, better quality stone up top was perfect for carving the detailed head, while the softer, layered stone of the body was just ideal for quarrying out big, uniform blocks. So, the team got to work on this incredibly detailed, painstaking process. I mean, they created a stone-by-stone map of the Sphinx temple, logging the geology of every single one of those core blocks. And then, they did the exact same thing for all the layers they could see on the Sphinx and in the quarry walls. And here it is, the stunning result. On the left, you've got a profile of the Sphinx, with all its rock layers color-coded. And on the right, that's the map of the temple, with each block colored to match where it came from. It's an undeniable match. The yellow blocks in the temple, they came from the lower chest of the Sphinx. The red ones, the upper chest. It is a perfect geological puzzle, and they've just put the pieces together. Now, with this kind of forensic evidence, we can finally piece together how they did it step by step. So here's how it all went down. Everything happened from the top down. The workers started by quarrying the best stone at the very top, stuff that was probably above where the Sphinx's head would eventually be, and used it for other temples. Then, as they dug deeper, they started cutting out the blocks for the Sphinx temple. And in doing so, they literally revealed the body of the Sphinx as they went along, building the temple walls block by block. This geological map just completely changes the game. See, older theories figured they quarried all these blocks and then just stockpiled them somewhere. But this new evidence? No way! It shows they were moved directly from the spot they were cut to their final place in the temple wall, all in one continuous, perfectly sequenced flow. Just stop and think about the efficiency of that. It's incredible. Every single action had two purposes. They weren't just carving a statue. They were harvesting a building at the same time. This wasn't two projects. It was one seamless masterpiece of taking something apart and putting something else together, all at once. And that's the real secret of the Sphinx. It's not just a statue. By learning how to read the story that's literally written in its stones, we get to see the true nature of their genius. It wasn't just about what they built, but the absolutely brilliant, elegant how of it all.